Hello algebra students, I've got a video for you. It's a review for factoring. This will give you guys a chance to review before taking the quiz that you're going to get assigned. I'll assign the quiz tomorrow and it probably won't be due till Monday or Tuesday. Just check Schoology out for it. I'm going to hop right into it, and just like always, if you have questions or anything, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. If we need to do a Zoom call to clear something up, we can do that. So let's hop right into some examples. If I've got 16k minus 24, remember we're always looking to factor this completely, meaning we're trying to get everything down to prime numbers and make it so that we can't pull anything else out. So if I'm looking at this, the number that jumps out to me is 8. 8 goes into both of these. So if I pull 8 out, 16 divided by 8 is 2. The k is still there. Negative 24 divided by 8 is negative 3. So I factored 8 out, so I've got 8 times 2k minus 3. This is the factored version of 16k minus 24. So let's look at something a little bit different. The difference of squares. Let's say I've got a squared minus 25. If you see something like this, and remember, if this is a square, meaning a perfect square, a number times a number gives you this, and it's negative, that means we're going to be able to break this down into the two binomials that make up this. What two numbers multiply together to give me negative 25, and since there's no middle term, to add up to 0? Well, that would be a positive 5 and a negative 5. And remember, that's why it's called difference of squares. Let's look at another difference of squares problem. What if I have a squared minus 16? Well, that would break down into a plus 4 and a minus 4. As long as this number is negative and it's a perfect square, you can do this all day long. A minus 64, a plus 8, a minus 8. All right? Those should be a piece of cake to handle. So let's look at a basic trinomial. If I've got m squared minus 6m minus 27. Now remember, you can pause this video and try these on your own and then hit play and see if you did it correctly. Remember, the key to these is asking ourselves, what two numbers multiply together to get negative 27 that will add up to negative 6? Well, when I see 27, I think of 9 times 3. And 9 minus 3 is 6, but this 6 is negative. So that means our 9 is going to need to be negative, and our 3 is going to need to be positive. Easy way to check it is FOIL it. Firsts, m squared, outers, plus 3m, inners, minus 9m, last, negative 9 times 3 is negative 27. So then I end up with m squared minus 6m minus 27. Piece of cake. All right. So let's look at our fourth example. This one is factoring a trinomial in which you have a coefficient on that first term. You know what, let me go down a line. So let's check out 8m squared plus 6m minus 5. Now the way that I've taught you all is we multiply the first term times the last term. First we look to see if we can pull anything out. I can't pull a 2 out, I can't factor anything out. There's no greatest common factor with all three of these. So then we multiply 8 times negative 5 and we get negative 40. And I rewrite that first term and I rewrite that last term. So I've got to break the 6m down into two numbers that multiply together to give me negative 40 that will add up to 6. Well, the first thing I think of is 10 times 4. And since this 6 is positive, that means the 10 needs to be positive and the 4 needs to be negative. So we're going to break this 6m down into negative 4m and positive 10m. Because if you combine negative 4 plus 10, you get positive 6. That's why we're able to break it down like that. So now I'm going to factor by grouping. I can pull a 4m out of here, and I end up with 2m minus 1. And I can pull a 5 out of here, and I end up with 2m minus 1. So I factor out the 2m minus 1, and I end up with 2m minus 1 times 4m plus 5. Once again, we can always FOIL it to check it. First, outer, inner, last. First terms, outer terms, inner terms, and last terms. So I've got 8m squared plus 6m minus 5. That is our original trinomial. So we did good. All right, so let's look at the last example. I've got m cubed minus m squared n plus m minus n. We're going to factor this by grouping, so I'll take the first two and the last two. Now the only thing they have in common is m squared. So I pull m squared out. So now I've got m minus n. And this can't change, so we put 1 as a placeholder. I've got m minus n. These two are the same, so I know I'm good to go. So m squared plus 1 times m minus n. All right, so that's a quick review for your quiz that I'm going to post tomorrow. Once again, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to send me a message on Schoology. I'll do whatever I can to help out. We can do a Zoom meeting, or I might even be able to answer over email or messaging. Hope you guys have a great day.